Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all this information. If this is your first time tuning into all of this stuff because you see the fucking blaze orange polo and everything rocking right now, this is where we are going to break down a lot of information that's practical that you can apply to your business today. Everybody who comes on my content, you guys, is a transportation professional. There's no theory here. We're all in the day-to-day. We're all building our companies. We're all building our books of business, everything in that. And also, most importantly, you guys, we're here to keep people in business, all right? This is why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day. Mainly for two reasons. A, we're the greatest fucking country on earth. And B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you guys live out yours as well. I got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, you guys, as well, before we jump in. I got a very special guest for you guys today. We're gonna bring some truth for you. But first, vhubapp.com. You guys hit them up. Doesn't matter if you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper alike. We all need access to trailers. And the best part about this is if you're a fleet, you don't have to shut your truck down right now because it's in the shop, your trailer. You can go on there and get it out. And the best part about it is you get paid to do it, you guys. And this is on top of the revenue that you can get from the freight that you put in the back of that trailer. So what they're working on, Paragould, Arkansas to Orting, Washington, $1,550 to do that, on top of the revenue you can get by loading that trailer out with some freight. They also have San Diego going to Selma, Texas, $1,500 for that reefer right now, ready to rock. San Diego to Millbury, Ohio, $600 to do that. San Diego going up to Spokane, Washington, $600 to do that. And also, you guys, that's a phenomenal freight market to be in right now. There's a lot of produce shipping out of there. It's going to go right into Christmas trees here as well. And then they also, for my Canadian viewers out there, Milton, Ontario to Montreal, Quebec, 250 Canadian on that. So hit them up, you guys, vhubapp.com. And just do me a favor. Let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Sean, what's up? Good fucking morning. Let's get it. Dion Lewis, what's up? Let's go, baby. Sonny Sharma in Gilbert, Arizona. Where the fuck you at, man? I'm in Gilbert. Come on, man. I'm heading to the airport almost right after the show, though, so I don't know if we're going to be able to meet up this time. Whitney Young, what's up? From Snowy Salt Lake, excuse me. Zach Williams, what's going on, baby? He's with SPI Logistics, you guys. You want to become a freight agent and take control of your financial future, hit Zach up. And then Jesse Griffin, what's up, my man? Good morning. Jesse's also a member of the freight capital of the world, which is Phoenix, Arizona. And that is, yes, a direct slight to everybody who lives in Chicago and Chattanooga who wants to brag that they're freight alley. Transportation capital's Phoenix, Arizona. Now, Rick Mooten, what's up? Good morning to you. And Drew Driscoll, what the fuck is up, coach? Let's go, baby. All right, I'm going to bring my guest on right now. The man, the myth, the legend, Chris Brewer, River City Logistics in the house. What's up, my man?
Good morning, Chris. How are you, man?
Oh, ready to rock from the freight capital of the world, man. I don't know if you heard, but Phoenix is the freight capital of North America now.
Yeah, there's a real big beef going on online about that, isn't there?
I know, and I'm just going to constantly fucking fan the fire.
We might as well add Dubuque, Iowa to the list. You know, all of 65,000 of us here. So,
dude, absolutely, man. Freight Valley, exactly. Jesse Griffin's got that. Freight Valley. That's right. That's what we're going. It's like Freight Alley. Get out of here with that shit. Freight Valley, Phoenix, Arizona. So what's good out in your world right now? So for those of you who don't know, Chris owns a brokerage as well as has a trucking company as well. You guys got what, 16 trucks in your fleet?
We'll be at 18 trucks next month, actually.
Perfect. How is everything going for you right now from an asset perspective? Like, where's the volume at? Are you guys holding steady? What are things looking like out there?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. I think my team and I have done a really good job of positioning ourselves on contracted business. We even kind of made good with some of our shippers, went back to them and gave a reduction in rate on 12-month business that we didn't have to do, but bode very well for us to get more volume. Customer direct freight is kind of where it's at for us right now on the fleet side. And, you know, a lot of our customers, we are multifaceted. We are, you know, allocating 3PL capacity as well as our fleet. But there are certain markets we're absolutely staying out of. The Southeast being one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't run my truck for 90 cents a mile, and every broker wants to pay me that. You know, we also broker freight out of the Southeast, but we're paying our carriers pretty good rates.
Yeah. And that's what's funny, man, is, well, it's not funny because like I see this shit too. And it's like, again, I'm never immune from some of these shitty behaviors. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say like, I never did that in my career, but it's like, man, how are you putting yourself out there like with a straight face? Because like, dude, Facebook is ruthless. Like the screenshots that these guys are putting out there for some of these brokers, and they're not small brokers either. Like, this isn't like a basement broker. Like, these are big companies that are putting that stuff out there. And I would all but guarantee they're not getting $1.10 a mile from their customer on that lane.
I would be willing to put my my life savings on that. But I think there's two different conversations, right?
Yeah.
And I'll jump into it just for a quick minute before we go through the articles. I think there's a difference between contracted business and carriers that you use on your business week in and week out. I think that as a business owner, we have a pretty successful brokerage.
Yeah.
We're not going to our carriers that we've been doing business with for the last 24 to 30 months and saying, hey, here's the market, take it or leave it. We'll find someone else. Quite frankly, we need them just as much as they need us, right? Yeah. We have the skills and the tools and the technology to go out and solicit business and win the right to ship freight. We've got to make sure that we have the capacity. And in order to keep good capacity, because you know our model, we're not the cheapest, but I like to think we're the best. And, you know, the best isn't cheap. So if we're using incredibly cheap carriers and we're failing, then we're not coming through on our promise and our obligations to our clients. So paying your carriers a very fair rate or wage in this market, I think that's what's going to allow the mid-sized level brokers to catch up to the big boys.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. My strategy in this, and again, I'll reiterate this, you guys, like, I don't do consulting work anymore. I did start a brokerage. I am running Freight Coach Logistics now. Our strategy, and and I'll just say it's very similar to what you're talking about right there, because I've been through this freight market before. All right. I've seen this song and dance over my entire fucking career. And for me, it's not like, if you're going to capture volume, and this is what you see, and I'm seeing this out there right now, is that people are going out there and they're bidding for volume, which in Q1, you're going to need the volume because it's going to slow down exponentially and there's not going to be a lot of freight. But the sauce that I'm rolling with here is I'm paying my carriers an above market fair rate. I'm not really negotiating with them. It's amazing how service failures almost go away when you stop the nickel and diming aspect of it. And I'm keeping it fair with my customers. I'm compressing my own personal profit margin for the long term, because it's only a matter of time before people fucking give up. They're going to quit because they're going to push that rate down. Like you're talking about, those guys who are posting 90 cents a mile. You don't have the luxury of service failure in this market as a broker. You fail on a load right now when you could post up damn near any lane in America and get 15 phone calls on it. You're out the fucking door. All right. It's that simple. That's how this industry works. Okay. If you're going to make it through this freight market as a broker, you better fucking strap in, because there are sharks out there swimming. You're hearing one of him talk, and you're going to listen to another guy here talk, Mr. Chris Brewer as well. We are in your customers' ears every fucking day. All right. We are there waiting for you to fail and say that the turbo blew out for the 7th time because you wanted to pay 90 cents a mile on a load.
Yeah, I think we've both seen the ebbs and flows, in the last 10 years of being in this industry. Especially, you read it online quite a bit. Hey, it's a broker's market. Some people are saying, hey, let's take advantage. Let's do this, that, and the other. But the advantages that I see, I'm actually back in the day-to-day, trying to build some closed loop networks. So I'm selling every day. It is so easy, so incredibly easy to get somebody on the phone, tell them about my experience or your experience, and the fact that this isn't a job to us, this isn't a game, this is our livelihood. Mm-hmm. And then when you can come through and produce on your first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shipments, and then at that point, it's not so much a matter of price. It's, hey, this guy or this gal is actually delivering on what he or she promised. The rest is history, man. You just earn yourself a client because somebody's willing to make an extra $150, and I'm just trying to break through and get my foot in the door.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, because it's a volume game in freight, no matter what anybody wants to tell you. I know some people have been ripping $800,000-$900,000 margins with ease these last couple of years. Those days are gone, you guys. I'm sorry. They're gone. And a lot of us who aren't prepared for that are going to see a drop in volume. But the fact of the matter is you don't have to, you guys. Like, you can literally rewind after this show's done going live here and re-listen to everything Chris and I just talked about and win through this freight market, because there's going to be a lot of winners coming out of this. Because the reality is when things get tough, a lot of people start to play defense, and I'm all offense right now. Personally, like, I'm not stopping. I got a breath in my body, so it's time. It's go time on that. Oh, hey, I got to get some shout outs here. The comments are blowing up right now. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Good morning from upstate New York. Axel's on the road. It says LinkedIn user. Sorry, I can't call out your name. On the Erica Hamilton, good morning to you. Aaron, what's up? Phoenix, baby. That's right. Vlad, is it your 18th birthday today? I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay. Hannah Cleveland, thanks for joining. It's a first-time live attendee. That's what's up right there. Every day, you guys were growing. Denise, what's up? Good morning from Beaufort, Georgia. We got what's up from Orlando, Florida. Senatobia, Mississippi in the house. What's going on, Anthony Rhodes? Nicholas Liendo, what's going on? Tim Hyman. Yeah, man. I'll up the swear game for you, but I'll get on that. I'm trying my best. What's your favorite one? Put that in the comments. Tim Wells, riding the roller coaster is a losing strategy. Very much so. And Louis Montano, what's up, my man? Good morning to you. River City Logistics is repping. Joshua Richter, what's up? Is he in your office out there?
Yeah, he's one of my best guys. He's a good dude. I
love it. I love it. Cody, what's up, my man? Good to see you in here. Drew Driscoll, that's Nick Mounty's hollering at you. Not sure why you're showing up as LinkedIn user. Oh. Rowdy Mowdy, baby, in the house from Axel Logistics. Well, hey, let's break down some articles, huh? We got some good ones here. First article, you guys, is gonna be from the JOC. LTL demand is now rising at standalone XPO, and I'm sure you saw this, Chris. It's like GXO, I think, is the brokerage spinoff. Right now, they're doing that pure play, and now XPO is officially all LTL, and which is crazy to see, because like I was part of like the very first or second acquisition of XPO back in like 2012, and to see the evolution of where they are. You know, people can talk all the shit in the world that they want, but that's a fucking juggernaut, and that was built in 10 years. You know, like he built it up to like a $16 billion company and then diversified it. And now it's like 3 standalones doing like $4 or $5 billion each.
It's crazy to see. I got in the industry in 2012. I didn't really know much about XPO until I became a broker in 2015. And the trajectory is incredible. I just read an article actually last night. I was reading this content. They bought some 5,000 additional trailers this year alone, and they intend to do the same for next year. I mean, that's just that's a major play. Yeah. That's big, dude.
Yeah. And, you know, because it's talking about how LTL rates are still rising. And then they had said in this article, this was one of the biggest things that stuck out to me, is despite a 6.2% drop in the LTL producer price index from June through September, the pricing arc hasn't really bent. So like the pricing is still elevated. Contractual renewal rate increases are still coming in at high single-digit prices, Mario Harik said. And where most LTL freight is contracting, LTL carriers have claimed contract rates are still rising by mid-single-digit percents. Transactional LTL rates offered by brokers have been under pressure, though. Harik and other company executives at the event in New York, well, let's call it what it is. They were on Wall Street for this one. And they expect the LTL pricing discipline to continue. As with other LTL carriers, including Old Dominion and Saia, third quarter drop in shipments and tonnage didn't pull down revenue or profit for XPO, and that the operating ratio is at 85%, a 1.1% improvement from third quarter last year. And that's what, Dude, that's what's crazy to see is like their operating ratio. Because if you look at a lot of the OTR carriers, man, their operating ratio is at like 97, 98%.
I'd like to see what the bottom half of that market looks like. In my experience, I never played with a ton of LTL. When I first got in the game, I was trying to take every opportunity I possibly could. So I learned quite a bit about LTL and some volume stuff. But in my experience and what I know now, and we don't touch LTL at all at River City, but you've got a really top-heavy group of people that do it well. And I don't know what that middle and that bottom tier looks like because I haven't probably quoted an LTL shipment in 2 years. But you're talking about some of the big boys, like they do it right and they do deliver. And I think that's why you're seeing their profit expand because they can demand those rates because they do deliver.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And as always, service is key, you guys. No matter what, service is key. And that article is from the JOC, LTL demand now rising at standalone XPO. It's going to be interesting to see how this all works. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue Brad Jacobs' track record and the decisions that he's made and what he's doing out there. So it's going to be interesting, man. And I know making that pure play LTL is, you know, dude, I personally think, in my opinion, I don't want to say like long haul trucking is going to go away. I just think with the evolutions of the distribution center networks that are popping up, it's going to be a very regional, heavy focus, hub and spoke. And that's just all due to the fact that of consumers' purchasing behaviors. Like if I go on Amazon, I can get same day shit. You're not going to do that if you got to pull the product from fucking Seattle and you live in Miami, Florida. So I think like there's going to be an increase in that. And I think LTL is probably going to see, which is kind of weird because like there's really only like 4 players in the LTL. And sorry if somebody's going to come on and say that there's more than that, but there's like, it seems like there's like 4 to 5 megas and they all have like subsidiaries with people underneath them to kind of contract that stuff out. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
I like what you noted about the supply chain going to a more of a regional thing. You see the evolution and the expansion of like the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
You can get to so many places within a day or 2 days drive from there. I mean, you could almost reach the whole country from that middle point, that middle line in America from, you know, Indianapolis all the way down. That's where you're seeing a lot of people put their resources into those markets because you can reach everywhere within, you know, 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Next article, fleetowner.com, how one fleet is staying on the cutting edge of safety. This article was centered around Western Express, but I think it was, it's good to see this stuff because, you know, they're talking about, you know, obviously I know where your stance is on safety as your fleet. With your fleet, it's safety over everything. And for me, it's, you know, because they're talking about this in the past 5 years, especially safety technology has taken a big leap into the 21st century. And we're now using a number of advanced solutions as I was looking for new ideas. According to Patterson, well, hold on, let me get his name out here. Daniel Patterson is the director of safety at Western Express. eSmart, which allows a fleet to set a maximum speed based on posted limits in different locations, such as highways and urban areas. The system uses GPS and digital maps that include information such as speed limit, radio, road type, and grade and traffic data. And another eSmart feature that they use at Western Express is geofencing capability. And we've geofenced low bridges in areas all around New York City. And when one of our vehicles approaches a bridge that's too low to pass under, the driver receives a pop-up verbal alert and the engine is derated to prevent an accident. So like, just based off of that, man, like, do you guys have like, how are you taking that? Because I like that when I saw that about the geofencing about low bridges and stuff in major metro areas, like that's pretty fucking cool to me.
That was the coolest thing that I highlighted about this article. And as somebody who looks at safety as the most important factor in running a fleet, in my opinion, I think you've got to put safety right up with on-time delivery and performance because your CSA scores are directly related to your level of productivity. You know, you're going to see carriers with a low CSA score, they don't take care of their equipment, they're probably not delivering on time, and vice versa, right? But this geofencing thing, and granted, we're nowhere near the level of Western Express in terms of tech and stuff like that, but I mean, talk about making the driver's job easier, right? And the idea of recruiting people into this industry is completely off topic, but I think it ties in, and you're going to see mid-sized to large-sized fleets that can offer stuff like this to, let's say, a 24-year-old, 25-year-old driver with, just 1 or 2 years of experience. You're setting them up for success, and I think this is brilliant on their part.
Yeah, and that was my initial thought as well, is I'm like, and this is another thing too, you guys, obviously, here's a little reminder. It is winter months now, so check the route out. Let your drivers know, hey, if they're going up through the Rockies and stuff to bring it. I mean, I think, was it Donner Pass already got shut down this year?
Yeah, I think it was last night or 2 nights ago. It was crazy. There was a pretty bad accident on the highway too, but you got to be talking about weather and weather safety, and that's something that me and my partners do a really good job of every other day. Or I know one guy, he checks the weather almost every day, so you can kind of get ahead of some of the stuff and reroute people and avoid those delays.
Yeah, and dude, and that's the thing is as a broker, you guys, you should be doing that. Like, that's a value add for your drivers, because not everybody's pulling up the fucking weather. And I live in Arizona. We don't really see a lot of shit. And frankly, I don't pay attention to a lot of the rest of the country when it comes to weather. So, take that into consideration if you got a driver picking up in a warm weather state, delivering up into a cold weather state, and just remind them. Because I literally had a driver once, man, it was load from Houston, Texas up to rural Wyoming. It was a load of oil pipe. And no joke, the guy only had shorts because when he left Houston, it was 95 degrees and there was a freak snowstorm overnight. And he had to wait for the shit to thaw out for 2 days before he'd get out of his truck, because it was like 20 below zero and stuff up there. So yeah, like, those are very real things. And it's like, those are just little value adds you can throw out there to your network.
They go a long way for your clients too, when you can kind of project that stuff ahead of time. You're picking up a load up in, Eastern Washington, or let's even say Seattle. You're going to have to go through the pass, or you're going to have to climb down I-5 or travel the 90 eastbound. Hey, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure this gets delivered on time in Columbus, Ohio, but there's a pretty nasty storm coming. Give them that heads up. That's all they want to know. They don't want to find out the day that the load delivered that you hit a snowstorm 1,500 miles back and you didn't tell them. That's where you lose clients.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And this is kind of funny, Hannah. She said, don't assume drivers are checking themselves. They aren't crock pots. You can't set them and forget them. That's kind of funny, actually. That article, you guys, was from fleetowner.com, and it was talking about how one fleet is staying on the cutting edge of safety. And as always, you guys, I put all the links to all the articles on the Freight Coach YouTube channel, as well as the Coffee with the Freight Coach podcast audio only replay, which is on iTunes and Spotify. If you're going to jump over there and check them out, do your boys solid. If you guys subscribe and share the show, it's how we're just going to continue to grow this out, you guys, and honestly separate ourselves as continuing to be the top media source in all of transportation. We'll call it what it is. We got here giving drivers a checklist with winter materials and parts to fix minor issues with the need for roadside. Yeah, massive value add out there. Good morning, Bob. Happy Friday Eve to you as well. All right, last, third, and final article. Freight waves. Transportation capacity hit high water mark in October. This was interesting, man. The Logistics Manager Index, the LMI, registered a capacity reading of 73.1 during October, 1.3% higher than September, and the highest growth rate in the 6-year period of this data set. A reading above 50 indicates the expansion, while one below 50 is contraction. Similar to what we noted last month, inventory seems to be sitting idly, clogging warehouses where retailers hope for a busy Q4. The flip side of that is normal peak season for carriers has not materialized, and there has been a less to move than we normally see during this time of year. And they're talking about how more and more trucks keep entering the market, which I love it personally. Like, I'm one of those. You got to fucking try. Like, if you're going out there and getting into the industry, there's no better time than today, thinking about it and actually applying it. You'll find a lot faster path to success getting in the game than you will thinking about it. So no matter what, there's always an excuse to not do something, but there's never going to be a better time than today to fucking rip the Band-Aid off and jump in.
Yeah, I think you and I were talking about this before we went live, but talking about the idea that there are so many incredibly talented people that business people or people that have work in operations that have the opportunity to go out and venture on your own. If you pay attention to a lot of people that study the economy, you're going to see the powers get more powerful, and the people in the middle are going to go one of two directions. You're either going to join that more powerful fleet, grow your fleet, expand tremendously, or you're going to go in the opposite direction. Us right now, we're putting all our eggs in the growth basket. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm buying more truck. I'm buying as many trucks as the dealership will let me buy. And when I get a phone call from my dealer that, so-and-so down the road canceled their 5 trucks, I'm taking that order, because at the end of the day, if we can do our job and maintain our business and keep really, really strong relationships with our clients, which I think we do a great job of, adding capacity, adding more trucks, at the end of the tunnel, when volumes do come back and the market does shift back to where people are spending more money and GDP goes up and all those indexes, we're going to be better for it. But I mean, I have to say it. If you're on the fence about getting into this industry, don't go to the internet and believe everything you read, because there are people out there like you and I who are saying, you know what, put our blinders on, get up, strap your boots on, go to work for 10 to 12 hours a day, and we're going to come out at the end of this smelling like roses. And I don't mean that arrogantly. I mean that truthfully, because a lot of people are going to quit and give up, and we're going to push forward and succeed.
Yeah. And, for me, that's exactly what I say, like when I'm on offense, is I'm going for it. I'm not going, I do put my blinders on to a lot of stuff, because, again, if you pay attention to the mainstream media or the media in general right now, it's all doom and gloom, right? Recession, depression, fucking you name it out there. There's a reason for you to not do it. But think about it this way: in these times, you guys, and it doesn't matter if you own a brokerage or if you're a sales rep out there, most people, when it comes to challenging times, take a step back, and rightfully so. It's scary as shit. I guess I have a different perspective, because I had to start my company literally at the beginning of the pandemic. So I've only known fucking keep my head down and keep moving forward, and I've seen that, where a lot of people do sit on the sidelines. And again, it's a scary time out there, but think about that. If everybody's doing that, how much opportunity is going to be out there? How many people, and especially this time of year, man, a lot of people are like, oh, because I put this video out on Monday. A lot of people are like, oh, the year, I'm not going to hit my yearly goal. I'm fucking done. Oh, 2023 is going to be, motherfucker, there's like 55 fucking days left in this year. If you could get out here and you put in an actual concentrated effort, you will see a massive increase in your business if you apply yourself every fucking day for the rest of this year. And then you will be busting through the gate sprinting in 2023, as opposed to picking up the broken pieces of your shattered life and trying to figure it the fuck out. Because that's how I used to think all the fucking time, is, oh, poor me. Well, guess what? It's on me to fucking make shit happen.
I don't know if people aren't watching your show. I'm going to do my best to share it 100 times over. The last 30 seconds of what you just said, I think every person needs to listen to that on repeat, because I just had this conversation with a few sales reps on Monday. And I said, hey, we're not waiting until January. I want you guys to work incredibly hard the next 2 months, because when you follow back up and you've talked or touched somebody 6 to 10 times between now and January, when everyone else in the industry is packing it up and taking a few days off and waiting until January to start their sales process, you've already talked to them. You've probably already quoted freight. And if you haven't done that, you're probably going to get an invite to an RFP, where those people missed the boat and they just wasted 2 months out of their year. The thing about sales is you can't ever say, well, we're just going to look to next year. You have to start on next year today. As a matter of fact, you had to start on it 2 months ago.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, right?
Absolutely.
I would put that clip on repeat, because that is the truest and realest thing that I've heard in a long time, Chris.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. You guys got to get out there and make shit happen, you guys, at the end of the day. And as always, we blow through this stuff every time Chris is on. Garrett Bauer says, great episode today. I appreciate that. Whitney, I got some hats. I'm getting some stuff made. All right. And then I'll just somehow get me your address. I don't believe in selling this shit. I can just send it to you. You know, at the end of the day, you rep that stuff out there, tell people about the show. It's worth the fucking postage to me. So somehow get a hold of me. If you're on LinkedIn, Whitney, just send me a DM over there. Julia, I appreciate that. It's all good that you're late as long as your drivers aren't, for all the freight that she's out there covering and posting pictures all over LinkedIn. It's all right if you're late to the show, as long as your drivers are on time. And my man Kyle Probus, my partner over at Broker Carrier, exactly. We're doing big shit over there too, you guys. 55 days. We got big goals, and we're gonna make all that stuff happen. But that's it for today, you guys. Freight Coach Morning Show. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll actually be from my hotel room in Nashville because I don't take a day off. I'm gonna be coming live from Nashville from my hotel room. Trying not to get too loud because my wife's gonna be there, and she's probably gonna tell me to shut up 7 times. And you guys will probably see that in person. But Chris, how does anybody reach out to you to find out more about what you guys are doing at River City?
Yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn if you're somebody that's just started a brokerage or a fleet and you're looking for advice. I was there just a few short years ago. Chris in the same boat, right? We both were talking about how you never know when that next dollar is going to come. So reach out and ask somebody who's been there and who's done it. Appreciate you having me on the show. As always, it's been real. It's been fun, and it's been real fun.
Absolutely, my man. And yeah, Nick, we'll get that. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support. We'll have to, dude, I'll have to I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to put out a website, and then people can just go and do that. And then I'll just ship that shit out. I'll figure it out. I'm in logistics. Anyways, that's it for today, you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll be talking to you